Doer Jeans just opened up a store right here in Portland on Northwest 23rd. They make stylish, comfortable clothes that are designed for a full day of living, from commuting to work to hanging out after. But you don't have to take our word for it. You can go try on a pair for yourself. CityCast Portland listeners can get 15% off your first order. Just mention the code CCPDX for your in-store purchase, or you can go online at shopdoer.com/CCPDX. That's shopdoer.com/CCPDX.
We all know Portland is a city full of engaged and concerned citizens. So it's not uncommon to talk with your neighbor about a growing pothole on your street or what actually goes in the recycling bin. But sometimes some issues seem far too complicated to resolve, and you just don't know where to start. So today on CityCast Portland, we're talking with John Dutt, a longtime supervisor for the City of Portland's 311 program. He's here to talk about the seemingly magic number you can call to help address nearly any type of issue within Multnomah County. It's Tuesday, October 28th. I'm Julia Fiaioni, in for Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. So before we get into it, let's make a distinction between 311, 211, and 911, because I know they're easy to mix up. So can you quickly explain how 311 is different?
Yeah, the way I like to explain it is if you need an immediate police, fire, or medical response, you should be calling 911.
Mm-hmm.
211 is a great resource for folks that are looking for social service assistance. So rent, utility, emergency shelter, food, and then 311 for anything else.
And it really is just that broad.
Yeah. I mean, we are the main point of contact for anybody that needs to engage with local government. We're not always the last call you're going to need to make, but we can definitely help you, navigate and get in touch with the right resources. But yeah, try to keep it real simple.
Okay. So this service is only for folks within Multnomah County, right?
The hope and dream someday is that 311 would be a Portland Metro service. So if you're calling from Beaverton, if you're calling from Clackamas, you get the same type of service, because right now those jurisdictions don't have a similar service. And we do keep a lot of information in our database for those other jurisdictions, so we can at least help people navigate.
So what are the top 3 issues Portlanders are calling 311 about most frequently right now?
Well, by far, our number one call type is campsites. So folks contacting us for anything related to unsanctioned camping in the city. We also get a lot of calls from folks that are looking for updates or information on what's going on around, the whole camping issue in the city. So that's definitely number one. Number 2 is we get a lot of calls off of the public safety non-emergency line. So that could be anything from folks that need to file a police report, or are just looking for information about noise issue or a nuisance issue, abandoned cars, all those kinds of things. A lot of those come to us off of the public safety non-emergency line. And then we also have a lot of seasonal stuff. So right now, Leaf Day is happening at the city. So we're getting a lot of calls from community members that have questions about their leaf zone, or we get a lot of complaints as well about, different programs and things like Leaf Day, where they're not happy with the date for their leaf removal, etc.
So when folks call in and they're not within a leaf pickup zone and there's a clogged drain, is that also something that you can help with?
Yeah, that would need to go to our maintenance dispatch group to put in a request for the street cleaning folks to come out. And yeah, we can help get that request in.
So just backtracking a little bit with the campsite calls that you receive, what do you tell people when they call in, and how are you able to help in that moment?
Yeah, so our main role is to help folks report the campsite that they're having near their property. So we basically get the location and take the information and get it on to the crews that respond. And then we have a lot of times folks that will call because they've called before about this location. We do have access to a good amount of information from the different teams. I mean, there's like 6 different teams that are involved in the, campsite reporting and cleaning and removal process. So we do have access to a good amount of information from those teams. So we can also, try to help people get an update on what's going on at a particular location, which is helpful, I think, a lot of times because there's only so many resources. So sometimes it takes time, and we can help folks kind of navigate where it's at in the process and what's happening.
Oh, gotcha. Well, let's take a quick break here. When we get back, can you call 311 to report tear gas in your neighborhood? More on that when we return.
Traveling after Labor Day might be a cheat code because trails and beaches are less crowded and we're past all those scorching hot days. So if you're looking to explore a bit more of Oregon before the rains come, skip Airbnb and Vrbo and hit up Cascadia Getaways. They're locally owned and operated by Oregonians who love this state as much as you do. Plus, they're on average 5 to 15% cheaper than most of these larger vacation rental platforms. They've got stunning homes across Mount Hood, the coast, Central Oregon, and more. And if you're currently in the market for someone to manage your vacation property, Cascadia Getaways is always looking for local partners. Whether you choose to book with Cascadia Getaways or another property manager, remember just to book direct, book local, save money. It's a win-win. Visit CascadiaGetaways.com to book your next trip or connect with their team. That's CascadiaGetaways.com. The Portland Bureau of Transportation wants to make riding your bike all year long a lot easier and more fun. Their program, Ride Through the Seasons, encourages you to try out cycling year-round through a series of group rides and skill-building workshops. In addition to all that, they're also hosting a month-long Rainy Rider photo contest in November with chances to win some awesome prizes. To learn more and get involved, text BIKE to 888-520-0526 or visit portland.gov/ride seasons. That's portland.gov/ride seasons.
So, with the ongoing protests at the ICE facility in Southwest, how about people who are concerned about tear gas in their neighborhoods? Can they also call 311 to help with that?
Well, we've definitely been getting calls, especially over the last month, a variety of issues related to the ICE facility and increased federal presence and the demonstrations. So we have definitely gotten noise complaints, tear gas complaints. Those are definitely things that we can, help people to report. It's one of those things where there isn't like an easy answer. So a lot of times we're escalating things to elected officials so that they can give their concern or input or feedback to the folks that are dealing with the bigger issue. But it's a lot more complicated than, reporting a pothole or an abandoned vehicle, just because of the political implications of the whole issue.
Have you noticed a change in tone with those phone calls in particular? Like, have you, since June, since this has been going on, seen a increase in fear or frustration, or has it been kind of the same?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, an increase in numbers of calls. And yeah, I mean, we get calls from everyone. So we hear from folks that have very different opinions about the whole situation. I would say there are folks that are more concerned, but might also be interesting to note that I would say the majority of our calls over the last month have been from folks from outside of the city of Portland, from other parts of the country that just want to give their opinion on what they think of our city. So, and those are usually very negative. So that's a lot of what we get is when
No way.
Portland becomes front page news on some of the more conservative outlets. There are folks from all over the country that will call and say what they think about us and our mayor and our police. And so those aren't fun calls, but.
No, I mean, if you wouldn't mind just walking me through that a little bit more, I'm so surprised to hear that. First of all, how do you handle calls like that? Like, what's the protocol in this case?
Yeah, I mean, it can be challenging in that, it can catch you off guard because people start off the call with a lot of vulgar words and very strong opinions. But in some ways, they're not the most challenging calls because they don't really want an answer. They just want to yell and scream for 30 seconds. And then a lot of times we don't even say much of anything besides our greeting, and they just give us their opinion and hang up. I mean, that's not all the calls. We do definitely get people that, are genuinely interested in what's going on from both locally and from across the nation. And they just want to know, is Portland really on fire? And, we'll let them know what's actually happening. And folks that are concerned about coming to visit or something like that, will, try to let them know that, no, we're doing pretty good. But there are also people that want to, give an honest opinion, and we'll help facilitate giving that opinion to the mayor or whoever is most appropriate for whatever their concern is. But yeah, the majority of the calls have been sort of just yelling and screaming and then hanging up.
Ugh, I'm sorry to hear that. I am now curious about just civic engagement in general. Like, if there are folks with legitimate concerns or opinions that are actually in Portland and want to meet with the mayor or speak at a city council meeting, is 311 the place to call to set that up?
Yeah, absolutely. That is not our most common call, but we do get those calls from folks. A lot of times they're specifically, wanting to testify or give input on a particular issue. We can help folks sign up for council testimony. We can help them give feedback directly to elected officials. And a lot of times it comes out of a different concern that the caller is calling us about. And sometimes there isn't an easy answer. So we'll let them know, well, currently the noise code doesn't cover unamplified human voice, for an example. So, if they're like, well, it should, we'll be like, well, here's how you can give your input to, policy makers. So that may be, submitting to their district council representatives or signing up for public testimony at a council meeting. We can help them know who the leadership is in charge of the noise program and help get their input to them. So a lot of times it stems out of a conversation we're having about a particular issue and how to make their voice heard or give their input into a policy change.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's twofold. Here's more information about this thing that's maybe upsetting you or concerning you. And here's the next step that you can take to maybe change this long term. So really working to give people that agency and to engage more directly with their neighborhood, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Let's take another quick break here. And when we get back, we're going to do a Portland Issues lightning round.
Okay, I have the next 60 seconds to convince you to go check out Doer Jeans. You can time me. Are we ready? Okay, go. Doer makes stylish, bike-friendly clothes that are designed to keep you cool, comfortable, and looking good. They're pioneers of blending technical innovation with everyday clothing without it looking like boring athletic wear. Like, even if these clothes weren't made with Coolmax, which is supposed to regulate your body temp and wick moisture, you would want to wear them. They gave me a pair of jeans to try out, and y'all, they look good. And they're not harnessing the full power of the sun and directing it straight to my legs like most other jeans do when it's sunny and above 70 degrees. And Doer just opened up a store right here in Portland at 820 Northwest 23rd Avenue, so you can feel the difference firsthand. And CityCast Portland listeners get 15% off their first order. You can either just mention the code CCPDX for your first in-store purchase, or go online at shopdoer.com/CCPDX. That's shopduer.com/CCPDX. 60 seconds on the dot. This episode is brought to you by Mubi, a global streaming service dedicated to elevating great cinema. On Mubi, you can stream beautiful hand-picked films anytime, anywhere. And right now, you can stream Lurker, a sharp psychological thriller and the directorial debut of the Bear and Beef writer-producer Alex Russell. It follows a 20-something retail clerk who crosses paths with a rising pop star and slowly worms his way into their world. As the line between friend and fan blurs, access and proximity turns into a matter of life and death. You can watch Lurker and so much more exclusively on Mubi, and the best part, you can try it for free for 30 days on us. Just head to Mubi.com/CityCast25. That's MUBI.com/CityCast25.
So before we wrap up, I want to do a city issue lightning round. So basically, I'll name a common issue Portlanders face, and you tell me if people can call 311 for help and what a 311 operator would do to address it. But there's a twist. You have to give me your response in less than 30 seconds, and I will be timing you.
Okay.
Are you ready for this challenge?
I think so.
Okay.
Bring it on.
We have a wide range of issues here we're going to jump into. I'm going to give you a countdown after I tell you what it is, and then I'll start the timer. First one, potholes. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes, we can certainly help you with that. We just need the location, and we'll get the information in and over to a maintenance crew response.
That was 11 seconds for that one. So you really got me beat. Next one here, dangerous intersections. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, yes, a little trickier, but yes, we can certainly help with that. We would need to gather some information from you about the location and what's going on, and we would fill out a traffic safety request form that would route to our traffic safety engineers. So, but yeah, that's a fairly common call we get, and we can certainly help with that.
22 seconds, not bad. Okay, I have to ask, is there an intersection that people call about the most?
Oh gosh, there are many. I honestly, it's kind of all over the place, though. You'd be surprised. Like every neighborhood has their locations that are, it tends to be the busier streets. A lot of times it's streets adjacent to very busy streets because people start using those more for cut throughs and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. On to our next one here. Graffiti. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes, we can definitely help with that. Graffiti, we work very closely with them. We can take the report. If you have pictures, you can send them to us. We can attach it to the report. Goes right to our graffiti abatement program folks, and they take it from there.
Nice. 20 seconds. It's like you do this for your job. Okay, next one. Broken windows. 3, 2, 1, go.
Broken windows. I am going to assume this is like businesses that have a broken window. Okay. Yeah. Because we don't really do much with broken windows outside of businesses. Mm-hmm. There's a program right now through Prosper Portland that helps business owners with repairs like broken windows or damage to their property. So yeah, we could definitely help folks get in touch with the right folks at Prosper Portland to see what they could do to help.
30 seconds. Nice. Right on the mark. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for deciphering my very vague question of just broken windows generally. We have a couple more here. An elderly or sick neighbor. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Again, that's a little vague. I definitely want to talk to you more about the concern. But yeah, we work very closely with folks at the county, Aging and Disability Services, Adult Protective Services. So depending on what's going on, it might be just getting you in contact with someone within the county that could go check on an individual. If it's like a more urgent thing, we would want to get you in touch with a dispatcher over at non-emergency to see if like a welfare check could be done by police officer or someone like that.
So that one was 39 seconds. Reasonably so. That's a very, very complex scenario.
Yeah, I would say, and that's pretty common with our calls. A lot of callers will just give us a few words and it's like, okay, I can interpret that lots of different ways.
So this is actually good practice. Just 3 words.
Yeah. One of my tricks is, or phrases I use all the time is, tell me what you're trying to accomplish. And that helps.
There we go. Okay, I do have one more for you. Dead animals. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes, we can definitely help with that. Dead animal removal. Again, we'd need to clarify a little bit where it is, what it is. But Multnomah County Animal Services does do dead animal removal in the public right of way. So we could help you get that information reported to them. If it's just like a bird in your backyard, we might give you some tips on how to take care of it yourself. But
25 seconds. You got almost all of them except for one.
Yeah, but I'm going to blame that on the question.
I can accept that. But I just got to say for our listeners who can't see you right now, there aren't any notes lying around. There's no scrolling on Google for the answer. It is all just in John's head, which is like just a crazy amount of information to hold. I know you were saying you've been working with Portland city government for 25 years, so it really does show. It's incredible to me that someone can call about such a variety of issues and get it mostly resolved in the right direction and really under 30 seconds, folks. So please utilize this resource more. 311, get that number in your head. So if folks do want to get in touch, what are the hours that they can reach out and get access to all this awesome information?
Yes, we're open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then we do have a number of our staff that speak Spanish and a few other languages. And then we have access to interpreters. So we have noticed a pretty good increase in the amount of folks that are contacting us that are not speaking English. So that's been one of our big goals. We really tried to target like East Portland and folks that don't speak English as their first language because, historically, people that call the city tend to be people that know how to work within the system. So trying to encourage people that aren't necessarily savvy to know it's okay. You can report that abandoned car. You don't have to just live with it. So, that kind of thing.
That's awesome. So before we wrap up, I heard that you're also a little bit of an amateur Portland historian. I really would love to know what you think is your favorite fun fact about Portland before we log off today.
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. I think Vanport is probably my favorite sort of Portland history topic, just because it is so fascinating. And a lot of people don't even know that the second largest city in the state of Oregon used to be Vanport. It has all sorts of history around the war and the shipbuilding efforts and how they built this city in like less than a year. And then the social impacts where we had lots of people immigrating into Portland and then it was temporary and then got destroyed by a flood. And then, sort of not great racial history of the city ties into that in terms of a lot of those folks were poor or folks from different ethnic backgrounds, and then starting a Portland State University and the Housing Authority. And it's the whole Vanport thing is fascinating to me.
Yeah, it seems like an endless scroll of important Portland history. Thanks for sharing that. And John, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me and helping us spread the word.
That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate, or leave us a review? And don't forget, you too can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Portland neighbor. Just visit membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.